situation and to shine a little light on it, because with the greatest respect, the local media here kind of, they weren't, they were bringing these people, wheeling these people out on TV and asking them to speak for communities, and I wondered if they really spoke for everybody, so I created a little experiment.
It's certainly an experiment that people have bought into. You have many thousands of followers on Facebook and on Twitter. I noticed last night you put up one about the Tweddale camp, and you said, and I thought this was very funny, you asked what the future was now for the caravans. Would
Yes.
there be the ritual burning of the caravan, or was it just going back to Malayl? That sort of stuff is actually very humorous.
So,
but you have a go at the Republicans as well. You were to go with Sinn Féin this morning, something about a disability living allowance, like the sort of stuff that it's very, very close to the knuckle, but I'm sure the politicians like the dig.
I don't have the baggage of being born here, so I see this as an outsider, and I can smell BS, and there's a lot of that, emulating from politicians. Yesterday was Stormont Day. We had the first day of opposition. We as LAD and sites like us, our contemporaries, have been providing the effective opposition. Yes, I'm sure that I've met a few politicians over the years. I've introduced myself to them. I've the biggest mouth in the world. I couldn't keep a secret, so I didn't, the anonymity was only part of a character. When I seen my opportunity to get my point of view across, I jumped on it. I think that we provided a platform for people to come together and discuss what was going on. And yes, some of that got a little out of hand and some of that got nasty, but that's the nature of life.
There's more than just you feeding into
Yes.
LAD.
So I started it one evening, and over the course of weeks and months, like-minded people came together, and we have a nice little team of people who are from Northern Ireland, who have day jobs, who develop these skills. Social media, as you know yourself, Frank, is this booming industry. We're actually at the forefront of what we're doing. Outside of LAD, it's an industry that I'm quite familiar with, and we have some of the best practitioners of this kind of online humour on the island of Ireland, based here in Northern Ireland. Like, the one thing that really attracted to me, I'm probably the least funniest person on the page. I just happened to be the one that came up with the idea. So I take very little of the credit, other than, yeah, I was the person who came up with this daft idea, and I swear a lot. But, I think that we were quite fortunate that we live in this time where we have this tool, this platform of social media, where we can hold these people accountable. Yeah, we take the piss. We do.
That's as rude as we'll allow you to be.
Right, so we do.
I have to say, having read the stuff over the last 24 hours, the only bit of broadcastable material, I can't even put out the "Take Care, Be Good, Bye Bye" from Muff in County Donegal. I can only use Dungiven.
It's a way of doing it, and it's an abrasive way of doing it, but it just fits in with the political discourse. Politics in Northern Ireland is an abrasive subject. So if you're going to oppose somebody, then you might as well be as abrasive as you can. But I stand over everything that was said and everything that was done, and I'm quite willing to sit and chat to anybody. But it was a fascinating experiment to be part of.
And you're now going to take it to the stage.
Yes.
Will it work on the stage? Because we were always wondering who Lad Flegg was, and we've now discovered today that it's not just JP, it's a number of people, some of whom apparently you don't very often meet. You just liaise with them online. But will it work when you take it onto the stage?
I think that the approach on the stage, the going on the stage, being on stage, is very much about the storytelling. So it's about telling the story of what happened, my adventure in Ulster. I make a joke. I don't know if you know Brian John Spencer. He's like this pseudo-intellectual that hangs around town drawing people's pictures. Often gets mistaken for being a ladman, but he's not, because he just wasn't funny enough or whatever. But he's I don't know if you follow him online. He's this very interesting kind of middle class Protestant kid who's gone in search of his Irish roots and looking to see what influence Ireland had on him. And I would often joke when I'm in his company that I'm completely the opposite. I came to Belfast open-minded, but really intrigued by this culture that was completely alien to me. And yes, I use it and I lampoon it, but it fascinates me. And then you switch over and you look at the report. Like, it's a laugh a minute with, you know, there's so much material where you could go after Republicans. But there's two things I've learned in Northern Ireland. One is that while the majority of our audience might come from that persuasion, they don't like jokes about themselves.
So the Republicans don't have a sense of humour?
They do have a sense of humour if you're laughing at somebody that's not them.
What obviously the loyalists have a great sense of humour because you're not afraid to take the whatever out of
No,
it.
I think that the majority of people, it's this term, you know, that I struggle with. What is a loyalist? Yeah, I understand that it's a tradition that has evolved over the course of the history of this place, okay? But at the moment, since 2012, it's a label given to people that are disenfranchised, that are being used by political masters to further their game. And we have these accidental politicians who are a hangover from the trouble. So they want to end this journey that they've started. But at the same time, they're leaving all these people behind. So yes, my methods were unorthodox, but I think that I was part of the solution rather than part of the problem. And we could get all philosophical about it, and I could reference the academic papers and stuff that have been written about what we've done, but that's not what I'm about. I want people to come and get to know who I am, listen to my story, so that I can try and explain a little bit about what Northern Ireland looks like to one of us Mexicans, you know.
You see, you sound much more serious than I expected you to be, and also more erudite than I expected you to be. I thought you would have been, you know, a tongue-in-cheek, bit of a laugh, rude words, yeah, and, you know, devil-may-care attitude. But you seem to be the sort of guy who's absolutely set on some sort of agenda. And I'm not sure, you know, whether you're a Marxist or whether you're a loyalist or a Republican. That's a great trick, because I've no idea what your motivation is politically. But we expect, if we're going to go to, you're on in the Mac Theatre, aren't you?
Yes, so I'm on the Mac on the 6th of October.
Yeah, if you're in if we go to the Mac Theatre and we spend 10 or 12 quid to get in, we expect to have it as funny and as entertaining as it is online.
Yes, of course, yeah. But it's that thing, you know. I'll step outside and I'll think of something funny to say. So I'm fortunate in that, you know, with social media you can delay those funny thoughts. And I do have a show, and it is funny.
There's a beginning, middle, and end to it.
There's a beginning, a middle, and end. Look, Lad has been this small fraction of my 6 years in Northern Ireland. I've led this other life that has been influenced by that. You know, Lad has cost me a lot of hours sat and a lot of frustration with friends and family and people that, you know, I would constantly be on my phone if I was in your company.
Yeah, because you have to be, because I was noticing last night, even when you were doing Trump, you're on an anti-Donald Trump ticket without doubt, going by what you said about last night.
Wouldn't you hate to be an American waking up this morning and that's your choice? You know, and if you look, you know, and we think our politics is crazy. You know, they look what they have to contend with, but it's something that's going to influence us here, because what is my politics? I guess I sit somewhere to the left of Jeremy Corbyn. You know,
you are a Marxist. I've worked you out.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
And you look. People may not have seen you revealed a photograph of yourself this morning in the Irish News, and you actually look. You look in the Irish News not like I expected you to look, because I met you once in the street and I want to tell the story. That looks to me almost like a false beard. This long ginger beard. You look like you've just come out of the Grateful Dead there.
No, this is my disguise.
But when I see you sit here in the studio, you look like Santa with a ginger beard.
Well, that's why I've done it. I started growing the beard so that I could be Santa Claus at Christmas. Yeah.
Well, so listen, you'll get the gig. I do forgive you for stopping me in the street about 3 months ago, saying, "Hi, would you mind if I take your photograph?" And I said, "Gosh, I don't mind. You take my photograph." And by the way, I'm Lad Flegg. I said, "Lad Flegg, I'll surely take my photograph." And 2 minutes later, on Twitter, up comes this post. "I'm walking into town. I've just met Barra Best." You cheeky git.
It's sometimes it just from that distance, it's very, you know, it's just these two fine specimens of weatherman that you have in Northern Ireland, isn't it?
Two genii. I'm out of time, lad. I know I should be calling you JP, John Paul Whearty. What a name for a man who primarily has a bit of fun at the expense of Jimmy Bryson. But John Paul the Third, I presume. John Paul, thanks for joining us. When are you on at the Mag?
October 6th. Tickets available from the box office.
October 6th. Well, it's great meeting you, and congratulations on creating what is a bloomin' monster.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Seriously, JP, good having you on the programme.